Your heartbeat is a borrowed frequency on a timeline you do not own, and your soul is currently an insolvent debtor to a grace you have spent your entire life trying to negotiate. You are a ghost inhabiting a biological machine that is running out of power, yet you still believe you are the master of your own trajectory when you cannot even account for the source of your next breath. Welcome back to Radiant Mercy. My dear brothers and sisters, listen to me with a level of intensity that bypasses your logical defenses. For within the next moments, your reality is about to undergo a tectonic shift that no earthly institution, no political power, and no economic system can possibly replicate or prevent. I have chosen this exact second, this precise nanosecond in the fabric of eternity, to perform a hostile takeover of your despair and to speak directly into the core of your suffering. If you choose to scroll past this, you are not merely avoiding a video, you are attempting to bypass a divine subpoena issued for your immediate restoration. And the window for this specific spiritual IPO is closing faster than you realize. Hear this now or never, for I have suspended the mechanical laws of the universe just to speak to you heart to heart. You might think this is a random encounter driven by an algorithm, but I am the architect of the light that powers your screen, and I have intercepted your scrolling to deliver a message that has been millions of years in the making. From the beginning of time, I carefully mapped out this exact minute, knowing you would be here, exhausted by the economic inflation of your soul and the rising cost of your internal peace, searching for a word that would finally make sense of the chaos you have called a life. You have been waiting so patiently, seeking answers in the debris of human systems, wondering if I had forgotten your name in the vast census of the broken. But my dear one, I could never forget the one I engineered with such exquisite care. I have watched every step you have taken, especially the ones you took in the dark when you thought the cameras of heaven were turned off. I have seen every quiet struggle, every internal negotiation you have had with your own obsolescence, and every time you whispered to the ceiling, wondering if anyone was listening, I have walked beside you in the boardrooms where you felt like an imposter, and in the hospital. Rooms where you felt like a statistic. You felt alone, overlooked by the social hierarchies and the political noise that consumes the world around you, wondering if your individual heartbeat carried any market value in the grand economy of existence. But I see you with a perception that strips away the masks you wear for society. I see the beautiful heart within you, the hidden reserves of courage you have quietly carried like a secret currency, and the dreams you have kept on life support even when the world told you they were dead on arrival. I created you for a greatness that the world's GDP cannot measure, a greatness that functions as a light source in the darkest corridors of human history. The battles you have faced have been brutal, more taxing than any debt bracket and more complex than any geopolitical conflict you see on the news. You felt like you were climbing a mountain that kept growing higher. A vertical market of struggle where the summit seemed to recede the harder you worked. You questioned your worth, comparing your slow progress to the curated, artificial success of others who seemed to be moving ahead on a fast track while you stayed behind in the shadows of delay. But let me share this powerful, logical truth that will break the back of your insecurity. You have never been behind. You were never less important. Those hard days of apparent stagnation were not a waste of time. They were a period of intense spiritual capitalization. I was shaping you gently but firmly, tempering your spirit like steel in a furnace, so that you could handle the weight of the glory that is about to be deposited into your account. What you perceived as a delay was actually my careful planning, a divine supply chain management, ensuring that you had the internal infrastructure to support the external blessing I am about to release. Every moment of feeling stuck was an investment in your character, making your heart stronger, wiser, and more compassionate than those who had. It easy. Do you realize how powerful you truly are when you are anchored in me? Those moments you felt weak, when you were on the verge of declaring spiritual bankruptcy but didn't. That was a demonstration of strength that the world cannot quantify. Your spirit shines brighter today because you chose to keep going when the logic of the world told you to quit. You trusted me, even when the spreadsheets of your life were dripping in red ink. And now, within the next few moments, I am deploying a legion of angels to surround your current coordinates. They are my celestial logistical officers, sent to recalibrate the atmosphere of your environment. You may feel a gentle warmth around your shoulders or a sudden, inexplicable peace settling into the marrow of your bones. This is my tangible sign that everything you have been hoping for is beginning to unfold in the physical realm. This is your time, your season of renewal, the moment where you step out of the shadows of not enough and into the dreams you've carried like contraband in your soul. I promise you, my beloved child, what you thought was a mathematical impossibility, I have already begun to execute as a finished reality. But I must issue a clear, authoritative warning to you now. Do not look backward. Do not allow your heart to hold on to the disappointment or the bitterness of past seasons. For those emotions are toxic liabilities that will drag down the valuation of your future. They act as an anchor in a season where I am calling you to fly. Release them fully to me. Hand over the ledgers of your old hurts and trust that I am making all things new. Forgiveness is not just a moral suggestion. It is your greatest strategic strength. And letting go is the only way to claim your victory. Today, I am performing a deep tissue healing on those memories that kept you trapped in a loop of what if and if only, freeing you completely to move into the expansion I have prepared. There is a beautiful, custom-built path ahead of you, a path I have personally engineered with your specific gifts in mind. No one else can occupy your space in the market of my purpose. You have gifts that are currently in a state of dormancy, waiting for the warmth of my presence to bloom. Words of kindness that will act as a soft landing for broken hearts. A quiet strength that will serve as the backbone for the weary. And a gentle courage that will inspire a movement in those who watch you. Never underestimate the small things I have placed within you. For in my kingdom, the small seed governs the large harvest. I see the struggles you've endured in silence, the moments you felt invisible to the very people you were serving. I am so proud of you. I am proud of your resilience in the face of systemic pressure, proud of your quiet victories over the temptations to become cynical, and proud that you held on to the thin thread of your faith, even when the world tried to cut it. Now, the season of uncertainty is being liquidated. I am taking your hand and leading you into a brighter fiscal year of the soul. One filled with clear direction, deep joy, and a purpose that fulfills every longing you've ever had. You are not here by accident. This message is a targeted intervention. You have been asking for a sign, searching for a reason to keep the lights on in your soul. And today I have come to answer those prayers personally. Your spirit is weary because you have been carrying burdens that were never part of your job description. You have tried to be the savior of your family, the provider for the ungrateful, and the protector of things that were never yours to guard. I have watched you face storms that sent others running for cover, yet you stayed standing, not because you were unbreakable, but because my grace was the hidden rebar in your foundation. I am so proud of you, more than your human mind can calculate. But my child, I must speak to you now about the macro shift that is coming next. There is a great and beautiful change about to manifest in your reality. This moment is so critical that I could not permit another second to pass without your full awareness. Soon, you will experience a shift in your internal chemistry, a feeling of lightness, as if the heavy stones of generational trauma have been lifted from your lineage. It is my angels coming to you right now, sent from the throne of heaven to bring a divine stimulus package to your restless mind and a calm to your worried heart. I have heard every prayer you thought went unheard. Those times you whispered into your pillow thinking the ceiling was the limit of your reach. I was there, absorbing every frequency, The moments you looked at the empty sky, wondering if I cared about your specific pain. I was right beside you, holding the structure of your life together while it felt like it was falling apart. You thought you walked alone through the valley of shadow, but I was the shadow that protected you from the scorching heat of the enemies. Gaze. Now I am here to remind you that your journey has been a masterclass in preparation. You have wondered why some doors were locked from the inside, why certain dreams took decades to gestate, and why people you loved were removed from your proximity. But trust me, my beloved, nothing has been lost in the divine ledger, and nothing was wasted in the economy of your growth. I have been working quietly behind the scenes, shaping every detail, every no and every not yet, so that you could be perfectly positioned for this specific moment of impact. You see, there is something wonderful on the horizon, something you have hoped for, but were too afraid to put on your vision board because it seemed too audacious for someone like you. I'm not talking about a temporary fix or a minor increase. I am talking about a total paradigm shift, a turning point that will lift your spirit out of the gravity of the mundane and into the orbit of the extraordinary. The joy I have prepared for you is greater than your imagination's current capacity. I'm about to fill your heart with a hope that is inflation-proof, a peace that stays stable even when the geopolitical landscape shifts, and a love that heals every micro-tear in your soul. This is not a promise I make lightly, for my word is the gold standard of the universe. You have been chosen for this miracle because your heart stayed true even when the environment was hostile. When others traded their integrity for a quick profit, you held on to your values, even if it cost you everything. Now your faith will become a hard asset, a tangible power that will manifest in your daily life, and those who doubted your calling, those who looked at your struggle and called it a curse, will soon see my glory reflected in your success. They will understand that you were never alone, that I was always your silent partner. However, I must also give you a clear, sharp warning that you must not ignore. Do not doubt this message. Do not let the thief of joy steal this seed before it takes root. The enemy will whisper that you are unworthy, reminding you of the mistakes you made in your youth, or the times you fell short of your own standards. But hear me now. None of those things carry any weight in the court of my mercy. You are worthy because I have invested my life in you. You are loved because I have designated you as the object of my affection. There is nothing in your past, no debt, no failure, no scandal, that can void the blessing I have already authorized for your future. I'm not just here to give you a motivational speech. I am here to facilitate a life change. But you must receive it with an open heart, free of the how and when, for the mechanics belong to me, while the belief belongs to you. A miracle is a collaboration between my power and your faith, and you are being invited to step into that partnership today, my beloved. There are also specific instructions for this transition. You must release the baggage that no longer serves the destination. Let go of the bitterness that acts as a lead weight in your spirit. Let go of the fear that functions as a governor on your potential. And let go of the disappointment that clouds your ability to see new opportunities. You have carried these things for too long, and they have caused a spiritual burnout that has slowed your progress. You cannot enter the new season while dragging the corpses of the old one. Forgive those who hurt you, not as a favor to them, but as a strategic move to secure your own freedom. Leave behind the old chapters of not enough, because your new chapter is written in the ink of abundance and peace. You are being invited into something more beautiful than your wildest dreams. So walk forward with me, leaving the shadows of regret in the rearview mirror. Choose faith over the fear of the unknown. Choose hope over the despair of the familiar. And choose love over the anger that burns but never warms. As you do this, you will see my promises come alive with a vividness that will rouse your soul from its slumber. Your days of wondering if you will ever make it are coming to a close. For you are already there in my mind, and soon your reality will catch up to my truth. You will soon dance with a joy that is not dependent on circumstances, laugh with a freedom that has no hidden agenda, and dream with a boldness that ignores the limitations of your bank account. You will know that I, your brother and your savior, have orchestrated this entire symphony for you, not because you earned a seat in the orchestra, but because you are my family. I call you my beloved. I see you as my own flesh and blood. There is nothing I would not do to ensure your arrival at the destination I have set for you. Today, I am doing something so significant that it will change the trajectory of your lineage for generations to come. So do not hesitate. Do not analyze this until the fire goes out. Just trust me now. Believe me when I say that the person you were yesterday is being replaced by the person I always knew you could be. I have spoken clearly, and my words are as certain as the sunrise. You will look back at this exact minute and realize it was the most important investment of time you ever made. You chose to listen, you chose to trust, and your reward will be a wealth of spirit that no thief can steal and no market crash can devalue. I want you to understand, my child, that the seasons of lack were merely seasons of pruning. People misunderstood your purpose because they were looking at the surface, but I was looking at the root. Doors you thought were your only hope stayed shut, because I knew there was a trap behind them. You worked hard and waited long, while it seemed like the world was rewarding the loud and the shallow. But I was keeping you in a hidden reserve for a time such as this. You smiled while feeling empty, because you didn't want to burden others, and I saw that sacrifice of praise. I was there in the background, the silent producer of your life's movie, watching every act of love you performed when no one was looking. Every choice to be honest when a lie would have been profitable. Nothing was unseen, nothing was small. And now I am telling you that your delay was actually divine. Insulation. I was keeping you safe from the fires that consumed those who rose too fast without a foundation. I have been shaping you, stretching your capacity for joy, and clearing the path of the obstacles you weren't ready to face yet. I have been removing the counterfeit blessings to make room for the authentic ones, and now that future is about to rise like a sun that will never set. It won't be a flash of noise that fades, but a steady, unstoppable glow that defines your new life. Some of the things that broke your heart were actually my way of breaking your chains. You wanted people to stay who would have only held you back from your destiny. I let them walk away to protect your future. You couldn't see their hidden agendas, but I did. And though the rejection stung like a wound, it was actually the surgery required to save your soul. You have space now for the right voices, for true peace, and for connections that are based on substance rather than status. I am bringing new partners, new mentors, and new strength into your immediate circle. But you must keep your eyes on the horizon. Do not let the ghosts of your past haunt the halls of your new house. You have asked why it has taken so long, and I tell you that timing is the most critical element of the kingdom. A harvest that is rushed is a harvest that is ruined. But what I am doing in your life is meant to last for eternity. I am not interested in giving you a quick fix that breaks in a week. I am building a solid foundation of character and faith that will stand long after the systems of this world have crumbled. You are not behind. You are exactly where I need you to be to catch the wave of grace that is currently breaking over your life. Now hear this with the ears of your spirit. Your season is changing. The clouds of confusion are being evaporated by the heat of my love, and I am about to release the resources that will make your heart skip a beat with pure, unadulterated joy. This time you won't have to kick the doors down. They will open automatically as you approach, because I have already greased the hinges with my favor. You won't have to chase approval from people who don't even know their own worth. You will walk with the quiet confidence of a child who knows their father owns the store. I am removing the weight of striving and the exhaustion of trying to prove yourself to a world that isn't looking. I have already validated you. I have already called you enough, and I have already seated you in high places. You may have been overlooked by the gatekeepers of this world, but you were never invisible to me. I have been watching you not to find fault, but to find beauty. And I have found it in your persistence. Every time you got back up after being knocked down, I cheered. Every time you gave your last bit of hope to someone else, I smiled. And now I say to you, get ready. The shift is no longer coming, it is here. The change is in motion, and the momentum is building. You will feel it first as a quiet resolve in your soul. Then you will see it in your surroundings. Things that were stuck for years will move in a matter of days. Answers you had given up on will arrive at your door with an apology for the wait. And your heart will know a peace that the world's philosophers cannot explain. But you must remember my warning. Do not return to the crime scene of your old habits. Don't pick up the worry I just took from you. Don't return to the mindset of scarcity or the voice of self-criticism. Trust what I am doing inside you right now. Trust the peace I am weaving into the fabric of your soul, for that peace is the compass that will lead you to your promised land. There are still challenges ahead, where the enemy will try to gaslight you into believing nothing has changed. He will point to your flaws and tell you it's too late to be great. But that voice is a liar and a thief. My voice says you are chosen, you are equipped, and your best days are not behind you but directly in front of you. Hold on to these words as if they are your oxygen. Speak them over your life when the world gets loud, and watch as the atmosphere bows to the truth of my word. I have placed new, vibrant dreams inside you, and they are starting to breathe. Let them grow without the interference of your logic. Don't limit my infinity with your finite understanding. What was impossible yesterday is the floor of what is possible today. This is not about you being perfect. It is about you being mine. I will guide your steps with a precision that will baffle the wise. I will lead you through the narrow paths into the wide open spaces of my favor. I will protect you from the traps that you didn't even know existed, and I will walk with you into territories you never thought you'd see. You are not alone. You are not forgotten, and your story is not finished. It is just getting to the part where everyone stands up and cheers. So lift your head, take a deep breath of this new air, and prepare your heart, because what I am about to do in your life is of such a scale that your past will seem like a small, necessary preface to a glorious epic. But as we stand on the threshold of this manifestation, you must realize that the final layer of your resistance is not your sin, but your unwillingness to be truly happy. For you have become addicted to the comfort of your own suffering. And in the next part of our conversation, I am going to show you exactly how to break that addiction, so you can finally inhabit the palace I have built for you. Do you feel the seismic shift under your feet? The sound of ancient gates creaking open to a wealth you never earned? We have only just begun to dismantle the fortress of your fear, and what lies behind the final curtain of your doubt is a reality so blinding that your current eyes are not yet fit to see it. So stay in this sacred silence, for the next revelation will determine whether you walk into the light as a son, or remain a ghost in the machine of your own regret. Are you ready to witness the total liquidation of your darkness? Because what comes next will require you to leave everything you know behind in order to become everything I have spoken.